Simon T. Bailey, and Shift Your Brilliance, Act Like an Employee, Think Like a CEO, really looks at how do you improve your performance by identifying the top 5 skills that you need now more than ever before. How do you begin to build business relationships? Because everything that I've learned over the last 30 years, everything is done through the power of relationships. And then when you think about shifting your brilliance, it's really identifying how do I show up as a better team member. So I'm going to take you into a virtual experience to begin to unpack how do you shift your brilliance, act like an employee, think like a CEO, which is based on my book, Shift Your Brilliance. And you're going to see in this virtual experience how we engage, how we ensure that everyone had key takeaways as it relates to thinking in a fresh way. So get ready to shift your brilliance. Well, first of all, Steve, thank you so much. So good to see you. Really excited to be here and can't wait to really dive into this conversation.
Let's dive on in. And like I said, I have a lot of questions from the audience, virtual, wherever they lay today. But in your work, you talk a lot about finding a spark. And can you kind of tell us about what a spark is and your advice for helping us find that and how we use it to drive brilliance in others?
When you have that spark, you literally, you're lit up. You're living from the inside out. It's what many experts call being in the flow or the zone. Time ceases to exist. Rabbi Harold Kushner calls it emotional congruence. So it's when I am internally aligned, which creates external execution. Ask yourself, what am I doing today to create tomorrow? And that's how you maintain the spark and continue to move forward. So once I find the spark within myself, then I have to look at my team members and engage them in the way they want to be engaged.
All right, now, one more thing I'd love for you to do. Hold up your arm where your watch is. That's right, where your watch is. And if you're saying, Simon, I'm not wearing a watch, ladies, if you have an earring on, take off the earring. All right, just have one earring on. That's right. And for those of you who do have watches, I want to invite you to take the watch off and put it on the opposite wrist. All right, put it on the opposite wrist. All right, you can see I'm struggling a little bit. All right, now here's the question. How does it feel having this watch on the opposite wrist? How does it feel? Strange? Weird? You're probably saying, Simon, why are we doing this cheesy exercise? Here's a question for you. What time is it? I know that's a trick question. The most popular question at Disney is, what time is the 3:00 parade? So for purposes of this discussion, the reason I invited you to put the watch on the opposite wrist, because the moment I ask the question, what time is it? You already had adapted to look where the watch currently resides instead of where it used to be. And what I'd love for you to do to really anchor this whole exercise for the remainder of the day, leave the watch on the opposite wrist. I know, it's gonna irk the fire out of you. But here's the deal. Life is tough, but so are you. We've done it this way before. We now are being invited to build our skill set and do it this way. Adapt and collaborate. That's right, adapt and collaborate. Not because you have to, but because you want to.
Hi, this is Teresa Ayat with the American Healthcare Association, and I just had Simon speak to our CEO and senior executive group, and he nailed it. Knocked it out of the park, connected with every person in the room, had a line for handshakes afterward. Simon's the best.